It is finally time to share my full 2025 planner flip through. So, this was a planner I used all last year for documenting and keeping track of events and activities and to dos. I'm excited to be sharing it with you so you can see what it looks like inside and get some ideas and inspiration for your planner for the new year. And I am almost ready to also share my full setup video for my new planner for 2026. So stay tuned for that. And I've been kind of procrastinating. I had some spreads that I wanted to finish in here before filming this. I did get some of them done, but I didn't get everything done that I wanted to. But I'm like, you know what? That's okay. I want to get this video up and created and kind of put this one to sleep and dive into my new planner. So I have it still in its little Christmas setup. I really enjoyed setting it up for Christmas and for fall as well. Let me grab something else to share. So for fall, I got the orange Moterm planner cover. I'm the rest of the year kept it in this black one. And I've had this black one for many years now, and it still looks really good. So I highly recommend the Moterm planner covers. I absolutely love them. They're for sure my favorite planner covers. So I got the orange one for fall and loved it. And then my sweet friend Jenny gifted me the green one for Christmas. But of course, green is not just a color for Christmas. I even thought, wow, it kind of like matches well with my colors for my planner for this year. So I might move my planner for this year into here. We'll just see. But I had a lot of fun setting up for Christmas with like photos and little burst cards and things. That's what I love about these covers. They have bookmarks, which I use, and they have tons of pockets, which I also use, and some for decorative and some for functional. So I wanted to make sure to give a big shout out to these Moterm planner covers. And if you're in the market and need a planner cover for the new year, I highly recommend these. They come in A5 and B6 and Traveler's Notebook, and they even have rings. Uh, yeah, I think that's what it's called when they have the rings inside. So really, really love these. And yeah, and I'll take my little Christmas paper clip out too. So for last year, I used this planner and what did I call this one? Like Space in the Margins planner. And so you could see the middle part had space for events and activities for the day or for the week. And then the margins were blank. And so you could totally customize it and make it your own. But a lot of the time I would do to-do lists in mine. You can see the margins were blank. And I really, really loved this layout. So that was the layout that I used for 2025. And you can see it got all nice and chunky. And I love taking mine to Office Depot and I have them cut off the spine and add a spiral. And then I put a plastic piece on the front. And then I put this black piece on the back and it just kind of protects the cover better. In the summertime, I filmed a flip through video of January through June. So I will have that video linked in the description box below. So if you haven't seen that, you can go check that out. This video, I'm going to do July through the end of the year. So that's kind of how I'm going to set it up. And if you want to pick up this planner, I will have it linked down below, as well as a link to the planner page on my website where you can see all the different fun layouts that I have. And then as I'm flipping through here, any printables I mention, I'll have those linked in the description box below. And I'll also mention like if I used a certain sticker book or company for the layouts as well. So I love decorating the intro pages, and I used a floral printable that came in my Ruth Bible study printable. And then I also used my Hello 2025 printable, which now I have a new one for Hello 2026. And I just have some fun quotes sprinkled throughout. And you can see I used these florals. It was kind of like my theme for my setup last year. And then this is the Gray Mugs Traveler's Notebook set, which makes a perfect spot for a verse to encourage me that I would look at throughout the year. My word of last year was peace, and so that was neat to have this in the front, and I used that same Gray Mugs Traveler's Notebook set to have another verse in the front here. I love having like a vision, goals, mood, prayer board for the year, and these are always really fun to put together. And stay tuned for my new planner setup video to see my new one. I also, over on Pinterest, have Pinterest boards for each year for the past few years. And so if you like kind of the images that I used here, definitely go check out my Pinterest. It's always linked in the description box below of YouTube videos. Then I had my goals for the year, and it was neat to see how I accomplished some of these, and some of these I didn't. But like, I did learn how to make sourdough last year, which was awesome. I definitely read more books, definitely took more baths. Some things I didn't accomplish. I didn't start my Creative Faith email newsletters again, but hopefully this year that is the goal and plan and prayer. I spent a ton of time outside. Anyways, I pray over this area of my life for my job. I changed my job. So, anyways, really neat to read through my goals and see what ones I accomplished and what ones I still need to work on. And I do have my, I think it's out in the other room because I was working in it today. I have a whole goals journal where it has spots to kind of reflect and plan and pray for the year that ended and the year to come. And so I do plan to make a separate video where I kind of walk through my goals and my word of the year for 2026. So stay tuned for that. I have a lot of videos planned to share with you in the next few weeks. You can see I use that cute little flower printable throughout the whole thing. So, I think I skipped a page. So my planners come with a yearly tracker, quarterly tracker, monthly tracker, and weekly tracker. Now, the yearly tracker I use for tracking my period, but I actually have like an app that I use, and I haven't gotten around to copying over the data. So that is one of the things I'd hoped to do before this video, before I filmed it, but that's okay. You guys don't need to see that. And so I do want to copy it down, though. I just never know with technology, and I don't want to ever kind of lose that data. So it's good to have a paper version. So I'm going to copy that down. But you could use your yearly tracker for Bible study or working out or whatever you want to see like your whole progress on throughout a year. So then for the quarterly, monthly, and weekly, I use them for cleaning. And I really abandoned all of this year. Well, last year in 2025. I, of course, cleaned our house. And I actually would say I did a better job keeping up on housekeeping stuff last year because we had more people over. And that is way motivating, right? To keep things clean. But I just stopped tracking it in here. And so it's something I'm like, this is the spread in my new planner that I haven't set up yet because I'm trying to kind of figure out what to do about cleaning. Like, do I just abandon this and just whatever I can clean, I clean when I see and notice it? Or, I do think it's good to have like a list, but, like, is it the end of the world that I haven't washed my husband's lunchbox or dusted our dining room chairs? Probably not. So, anyways, if you have any, like, tips about how you keep track of cleaning, like, do you have a page in your planner? However you do it, I'd love to know any tips in the comments below about that. It's definitely something that I struggle with, but anyways, I also read this really fascinating book called Rework and it is geared towards like business ideas. And it was really interesting because the author, one of the well, yeah, I think there were multiple authors in the book, but they said to not write anything down, and then whatever is most important will get done, which as we get into later in the year, you'll see I was so kind of overwhelmed that I just kind of stopped writing anything down. And that's probably what kind of happened with my cleaning stuff too. Um, and just whatever was most important got done, but then it's like also there are things that I forgot that probably should have gotten done. So, anyways, that was kind of the deal with these intro pages. Um, but I definitely changed my sheets more than 5 times in the year. So, anyways, yeah, just trying to kind of work through cleaning tasks and documenting it and what is the best way to do it. So then I love my planners because they have a great combination of like structured pages that are already set up for you, like all of these. And then there's also dot grid pages that you can customize and make your own. So on these 2 pages, I printed off a monthly highlights, as well as I took the same page and cut off monthly highlights and put family birthdays. And so I obviously didn't fill out this, and this is something that I had also hoped to get done before I filmed this video and didn't. But that is okay. And I did go through and in my Hello 2026 journal, Goodbye 2025 journal, I did go through and write out my monthly highlights. But I just didn't do it in here. This would have been good, like at the end of each month, to just take a few moments to reflect and fill this out. And maybe that will be a good goal for me to do in 2026. And then I have birthdays as well, with the same pink floral color scheme. This was another tracker I had hoped to fill out before this video. Again, I do have an app where I have it all tracked, but I didn't get around to copying it over into here yet. And again, I don't love like relying on technology sometimes because it does fail. So I definitely want to copy the information over into here. I did hit over 600 hours outside in 2025. In 2024, I hit 460 some. And then in 2025, I hit 615. And so my goal this year in 2026 is to hit more than that. So it would be really cool if I did 1,000 hours, but we will see. But my goal, is just to spend as much time outside as possible. And so I use the 1,000 hours outside app for tracking that. But again, I like copying it over and having it physically in here so that I can reference back and see it. So then January through June, you can see all of those on the previous video that I mentioned. So then we're going to flip to July. And so for July, I used a Happy Planner sticker book and some washi tape. And I love these Avery removable tabs. I mention them in a lot of my videos because I love them so much. And so I use those to mark the months. And then, so I use the same theme for the monthly layouts. And so I always do a title page, and this is just something purely for fun, for aesthetics, and I love how it turns out every month. And sometimes I'll do a Bible verse or a prayer, and then I use the same stickers or printable throughout the monthly layouts. And I just think it makes it look nice and cohesive. And then I use a bill tracker printable from my Etsy shop. It is like in a printable bundle. And I love my bill tracker printable. I use it every single month and write out all of our bills. And then it makes it really easy for me to A, do tax stuff, and B, see it's basically like a financial checklist for me every month. And so I can see if I've paid it or not. And it just helps me stay on top of our finances. I can really easily flip from month to month and see how much we've been spending. So we have our credit card bills and things like that. And so, anyways, I really, really love using my bill tracker printable. And so at the beginning of the year, I print a bunch of them and already have them taped in and ready to go. And then I also used my hand lettered months printable throughout here as well too. And then there's also a dot grid page here, and I always love using it to write a prayer for the month ahead, or I also will sometimes do a bucket list printable in here as well. So again, you can customize these though. If you're like, I don't need a bill tracker, you could use it for gratitude, you could use it for monthly memories, you could use it for 1 line a day journaling. So lots of great ways, and there's even a page in the front that walks you through tons of, if I can find it, tons of ideas on what you could put there. So then our weekly layouts. This is the Happy Planner sticker book, the one that has books in it. Can't remember what it's called, but I have that one. Here's another Happy Planner sticker book with the pressed florals. I love florals, but I love a lot of different types of sticker books too, but florals are definitely my favorite. This one is a Spoonful of Faith sticker book. And this is actually my very last day working at the church full time, and then now I work for myself. And so it was a big last half of the year for me personally and work wise. But I love this cute Spoonful of Faith sticker book. I think it's so pretty. And so you can see I like using the margins for to-do lists. Normally I have a personal to-do list and a creative faith to-do list, and then inside I work on writing out like any events and activities that I have going on. Here is some more Happy Planner florals and another Happy Planner sticker book. And we're on to August. So at the end of each month, there's a blank page, and I love to print photos from each month and included them here. That's like little memory keeping page. And this was a big project that I was trying to get done before I showed you and filmed this video. So again, I need to kind of rethink things for 2026 and think of a more sustainable way to do it, so it's not like the end of the year I'm trying to cram for a test, like trying to cram and get it all done. I'd love to try and towards like the end of the month transfer all my photos from my phone to my computer, print photos, do the monthly highlights and things like that, where I can be more intentional like monthly to do things like that. So yeah, I just think it would be way more sustainable than waiting. And that way I would know, like, okay, all my photos are transferred. And maybe I should even make like an end of the month checklist where I transfer my photos, print photos for my planner, um, set up new planner, things like that. Maybe that would be kind of a helpful thing to work on. For August, I have these beautiful sunflowers that are a Creative Faith printable, actually. I love these, and this is the hand lettered months printable. But I love the sunflowers. August in our garden is so beautiful. I'm dreaming about the garden days of this year. Don't forget to pick up a garden journal if you haven't yet for the new year. I still need to set mine up for the new year, but that'll be another video. But I love the sunflowers here. This is a printable. I think it's from my Dancing Leaves set. And a sunflower explosion. How fun is this? I love how this turned out though. Very seasonal and beautiful. And August was kind of wild because I ended up in the ER with a kidney stone. And it was right before a big work trip that I had going to Texas. So I wasn't sure if I would be able to go to Texas or not. And praise the Lord, I was. for this eWomen Network business conference. We had so much fun and learned so much. And these are some old Planner Society die cuts that I just hoard because she doesn't really make things like this anymore. But that is a big goal this year, is to use the washi tape, the stickers, the die cuts, and not hoard materials. And here's another Happy Planner sticker book. In the little notes section, I really love categorized to-do lists. I have a whole online course about it. It's called The 4 Ps of Productive Planning. And so that's why I have the 2 different lists for creative faith and for personal. And then I also here, I sectioned out bills to pay. So I really like taking my to-do list and categorizing them so it takes, something that could be big, long, and scary, and instead breaks it up and chunks it up, which makes it easier to tackle. My mind loves categorizing things like that. And this is a Paper Minty Studio sticker set and washi tape. I love her beautiful stickers and washi tape. And then here are August memories. I go from the hospital to Love and Life in Texas, and we had a women's horse group throughout the summer, and that was really special. I need to print some more. I have room for a couple more July pictures and maybe a couple more August pictures. But that brings us to September. And for September, I used my Fall Floral Mugs printable. I love this printable set. I also just love how this setup came together. I used ripped book pages that I used Distress Oxide ink on. Really awesome setup video, so be sure to check it out. I'll link the whole playlist that I have from my planner last year, but just love how September turned out. Here's that bucket list I referenced. And then I also have a prayer. So I did a big tip in, and I just love how this all turned out. And I do still have a few of these leaf notepads available in the Creative Faith Etsy shop, and I'll have those linked in the description box below, as well as, again, any of the printables I mentioned. And here was the first week of September. It makes me excited for fall this year. I love the season of fall. Oops. That was my timer to try and get this video done. And I still have 3 months left. So I better move it along faster. So we have, this is from a fall floral planner printable. And then the fall floral mugs. And I used a lot of Paper Minty Studio throughout my fall setups. I just love her stuff so much, and I think it's so pretty. And yeah, a lot of things to do each week. This was things to make. So I had pesto, pickles, bone broth, sourdough, tomato sauce. Things to pay. And these are Creative Faith things. And here were September memories. Had a big event at church, and yeah, lots of fun family things. And of course, just sweet fall memories. I used my fall floral borders and corners printable for October. And I love these printables. I think they just look so pretty. And here is that leaf notepad. And I used it. I try and cover my bills for these videos because you guys don't need to see all that information. And so it's fun to come up with different ways to cover up the bill tracker. And then this was an old fall printable that is no longer, or fall notepad that's no longer available, but matches that printable set. And look how pretty, but you can see I'm starting to get busy because it gets pretty light around here. Here's a Happy Planner sticker book, some Paper Minty Studio washi pieces. Oh, this one I did use. Things to do, things to film, things to do. Yeah, the fall just got super, super busy and I was kind of just using like random scraps of paper for my to-do list for the week. So I was like, oh, I need to set it up in my planner instead of just like writing them in my planner, even if the planner pages, aren't decorated. This one I used my new fall gratitude printable. Love how that turned out. And here were all the October memories. Such a sweet month. And then November, these leaves are from my new fall printable for my gratitude journal that I released last year. And then fall leaves and Jesus, please. That little hand-lettered phrase is from which one? The fall floral mugs. And November was a crazy, crazy month because we had a big holiday market for one of my clients, and it was just kind of madness preparing for it. And I used that leaf notepad again. And I just love how these leaves turned out. And they look so pretty coming off the page. Here, this was the weekend of the market. And you can see nothing happened besides working. working on that. And then the week after, I just kind of crashed because I was so exhausted from that. And yeah, so November and December were pretty light. There's just so much going on. Yeah, my planner just took the back burner, and that's all right. We had November memories. This is from the market we were at. My husband and I did get to do some fun things, which we did some fun walks, and this was from Thanksgiving. There's my grandpa. We did some Christmassy activities at the end of November, so it was a sweet month, just a really full month. And then December, I loved how the setup turned out. I used my Fulfilled Christmas mugs, my new Christmas mug printable, and it just turned out so cute. I love the little garlands that I made. And December was also a very full, crazy month. But God was good and we made it through. But my planner got kind of abandoned. So, like this page, oh, I forgot to even draw the little things coming up. I decorated this moments before hitting record on this video. But that's okay. And hopefully this year I can be better about actually using my planner, or even just if it's not decorated, pulling it out and using it. So this were some Paper Minty Studio stickers, some Happy Planner stickers. Like, look how full this week was. Oh, so much going on. This is Christmas week. I also decorated this moments before. That's why all it had, like, I thought, oh, Christmas week should be so special in my planner. And instead, I decorated it at the end of January. And all I did was put some washi tape down. But that's all right. And then this is my Hello 2026, Goodbye 2025 printable. And I love how this spread turned out. But again, it was such a busy week and I didn't even use my planner really. So then at the back of Creative Faith planners, there are a bunch of dot grid pages. So I'm excited to share with you the different spreads I did back here, and stay tuned again for the video where I'm setting up my 2026 planner because I have some awesome new spreads that I'm adding, which I'm really excited to share. So one great thing about 2025 was I read more books than I've read in a really long time. I finished 15 books, which I'm super pleased with, and had a lot of fun trying to read for enjoyment. So really enjoyed that. And these two printables are in the Creative Faith Freebie Hub. So in the Freebie Hub, I have there's over 50 different things that you can print for free that I've made and designed. And this books I've read and books to read and get printable is in the Creative Faith Freebie Hub. So I'll have that linked in the description box below if you want to join. And then these are books that I like want to read and want to purchase. And so I did get a few of them this year or last year. And then I have a wish list, personal, and a wish list for our home. And so that way I can write things down so I know kind of what I want to get for either like I can ask for my husband for my birthday or, things to just keep in mind for our home. And again, I'm using those pink florals that I used at the beginning of the planner. So it matches and coordinates. And a lot of these printables are from, I have 2 bundles in the Creative Faith Etsy shop that have various different planner spreads that you can do. And I really like just being able to print these. I print them at like 62% to fit in an A5 planner, and it just makes it really easy. Instead of like drawing little boxes and charts and things, I can just print it out. And then I have my online order tracker. So I use this to keep track of things that I order throughout the year. And then I have a list of fun things to do and explore. We didn't do a ton. Obviously, none of these particular ones are checked off. But it's nice to kind of have a list like this. So if my husband has a day off and we want to do something together, we can pick from here. And then I will copy these into my new planner. I have a list of favorite songs from the year, and I didn't do a ton of this, of movies to watch, but I should be better about like when I hear a movie that sounds good, I write it down so that we can watch it. And then I have a list of things to do at home and things to do outside of our home. So last year was a huge year for our home. My husband built a hood vent. We found mold and he had to remodel part of our bathroom. He installed an attic ladder. We got a new HVAC system. We bought the new hot water heater, but he still needs to install it. We redid my office a little bit. So tons of house projects got done. And then it's nice because I can see, oh yeah, there's still some things we need to do. But also trying to walk in contentment as well with, if some of these things don't happen, obviously that is fine too. And being grateful for our home the way it is. And I also have things to do outside. We desperately need to get a new fence. Ours is falling over and has holes, and people could walk right walk right through. So anyway, I will copy down these things into my new planner, the ones that we didn't do. I have a when did I last page. I am sure I didn't really update this and probably should have. And then I also have a water filter replacing chart. And so this I just made myself. And this is a good reminder that I need to replace a few things. So I can order those replacement parts. My husband's family, his brother and sister-in-law came to visit, and so we needed to buy some things, as well as I made a list of kind of some things that I wanted us to do when they were here. So that was really great. And then that's a little tracker, and I think that's kind of it. Oh, I also made a Christmas list page, which I redid this and made like a little chart. And I did still have some extra pages back here too, so I could have added more, but can't wait to share my spreads that I made for my 2026 planner with you. So that is a look at the second half of the year in the Year to Flourish planner. And I always get like kind of sentimental when the year comes to a close because, well, I get sad that I'm putting this planner away. It is full of memories, it's full of highs and lows from the year, but of course, God was faithful through it all, and it definitely was a year to flourish. A lot happened, and I'm excited to see what God has in store for 2026. So you can check out all the printables I mentioned in the description box below. Be sure to head to the video of January through June if you missed that, and that might give you some great ideas for the earlier months in the year. And yeah, thank you for being here. Be sure to hit the subscribe button down below as well as the bell notification so you don't miss out on any upcoming Creative Faith videos. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye, friend!